Hi, this is Adam Eliyahu Berkowitz from Israel 365 News, coming at you live from the Golan. I'm here today with some friends, Amit Barak and Amot Sayal. They just started a company organization called Jnovation, like innovation, but Jnovation. And their first project is a game called Derech Avot, which is based on the Bible. Now, I have a personal connection to it, a personal interest. The game is based on a map of Derech Avot, which means the road of the fathers, the path of the fathers, and it's an actual road. Not only is it an actual road that I used to live near, it has been a road since way before the Bible was the Bible. We know for a fact that the forefathers, the patriarchs, used to walk on this road. And it was the path from the south of Israel up to Jerusalem and beyond, I just found out. And it was used in Roman times. It was a very, very heavily used road from ancient times. And this game is based on that road. So I'd like to introduce my friends Amot Sayal and Amit Barak, to tell us about this amazing game, which I got to tell you, with this, if there's one thing that we need in these difficult days, it's a game that I can play with my kids that's not going to make their brains disappear. So first of all, I'd like to hear about a little bit about you, Amit. I know you very well. So tell me a little bit about yourself, something I didn't know. I know Amit he's a busy guy. He also runs the Jerusalemite Initiative, which connects Christian Arabs to Israel. But what else do I need to know about you, Amit?
Well, you need to know, you just mentioned that Amot and myself, we founded the Jnovation. It's actually a company, and we are involved in non-profits and bringing groups of evangelicals to see Israel. But we were thinking, what else can we do to bring Israel to their living rooms, those who cannot come here, and also those who are coming here but are not familiar with the way of the patriarchs. So we founded the Jnovation, and this is our first product. I think this is something you didn't know.
That's true. And this is the first day that the game is available on your Kickstarting page. This is the first day. So Amot, there we have the game. As you can see, it says the way of the patriarchs, and it is indeed a map. And that map is actually, it's not something they made up like Dungeons and Dragons. The map is the way of the patriarchs, which if you Google it on Wikipedia, you'll see that it goes from the south of Israel, from Beersheba, which was, of course, even in ancient times, a relatively major city. It goes through Jerusalem, and all the way up to the north, to Chatzor, which is actually not so far from me in the Golan. So if you're interested in what this game is about, it's not just, made up Bible things. It's based in the actual geography and actual road. And as I said, this is the first day it came out. So, it's at least, I'll tell you, it's very pretty. It's very pretty. And is this... the kids have to answer questions about the Bible? Is that the idea behind it?
Yeah, I think we have few ideas behind the game. The first idea is to be based on actual places. I know that a lot of people cannot come in these days to Israel and to Holy Land, unfortunately. This is one thing. The other thing, that people that came, I don't think they knew about this way. So they came to Jerusalem, that is obvious, but it's on the way of the patriarch, but they never traveled to other places, Hareval, Shiloh, important places, biblical places that maybe our history is there. This is the 80%. 80% of the stories from the Bible happened on the way of the patriarch. This is important to know. Yeah. So Bethel. When Abraham visit, like all the stories about Abraham, about Isaac, about all these stories is actually from way of the patriarch. So we thought to ourselves how to bring, how people will know about this place. And we thought that the best thing to do is to do it in a fun way. So they develop a board game. But people ask us often, why you develop a board game? Why not like today? Everyone is using computer and cell phones. Why you didn't develop an app? So behind the game is also the idea to sit the family together. We want the family to take the time, sit in front of the table and play together. It's something that was lost in the last few years.
And you can play it on Shabbat.
What?
That's
And
what
you
I
can
was
play it
going
on
to say.
Shabbat.
Yeah.
I had the problem. What do I do with my kids on Shabbat? You know, and we're stuck
So
in the house.
this is a great game for Shabbat and Sundays. But again, it's trying to bring something else to the table. I played here with the word, but we're trying to bring something else to the table. We're trying to educate or to help the kids to understand better. Also, the game is not based on who will finish the game, who will be the first to finish. The game have ideas behind it. You don't need to collect money. You're collecting good deeds. You're collecting the Good Samaritan cards that give you the understanding about how important it is to have a good deeds. Not just to get money, not just to finish first the race. It's important. The way itself is important. You need to help people on the way. You need to read the Bible to learn. For example, we have a mission on the game itself that you need to take cards based on the number of wells that Isaac dug in Beersheba. You need to open. You need to learn how many
So
wells.
it's like a biblical Trivial Pursuit.
Yeah. Again, we try to combine between worlds. Look, I grew up on the way of the patriarch itself. All my life, I live here. Behind my in my balcony, from my balcony, you see the ancient site of the Good Samaritan. I know Judea and Samaria. This is the places. This is our life, and I was so fortunate to live here. I want to give it a bit to other people that cannot get to Israel, that cannot come here. And this is the idea behind it.
And there are many people that have never been here that when they think about Israel, they think about places like Tel Aviv, Ramat Gan, Bat Yam. You know, they're thinking about these major metropolises today, and they don't realize that in biblical times, these didn't exist. The places that were important then were Hebron and Bethlehem and Jerusalem and Shechem and these and Shiloh. These were the metropolises of the day. So it's important to educate people. Great initiative. I think it's a wonderful.
People went to Tel Aviv and maybe enjoy from the beach. I went to travel 2 weeks ago. I went to Jericho area. And I walked, and I saw like the Padre. I saw
Pottery.
From the history. For me, it's much more exciting than to go to another beach. You have great beaches also in Miami and in other places in the world, but you don't have the history and you don't have your own stories in any steps that you're going on the way. And people missing it, unfortunately, also from political point of view. I think the few people around the world have a goal to maybe hide the story of the way of the patriarch, because this is our connection, our really connection to this land, the Jewish connection, and without the connection to this place, I'm not sure that we have something to do here. So people are trying to hide it. This board game is trying to show it, look, this is the place that Abraham walked. This is the place that Isaac. This is Bet Zechariah, where the Maccabees fought the like every place, every site have his own story.
The kings, the prophets, the judges, it's all along the way of the patriarchs.
I have to say I was embarrassed when we were talking before the video, before the live stream. Amotz was telling me where he lived, where he was from, and Amit was I heard of the cities, but I can't picture them on the map, and that's so important. It's so important. So something like this would help me, and I live here now 30 years. I think that's really important. I'm looking at the game. You have a Kickstarter page. We'll put this up on the video later. The Kickstarter page of the game is beautiful, and it has 3 paths: the Way of the Patriarchs, the Jordan River path, the Desert path. I've ridden my bike along the Jordan River path, so that's the path I usually like to drive. And as he said, it doesn't show so much the Mediterranean, because that's not where the Bible happened. That's not where the patriarchs walked. So
Yeah.
I think we work on this game more than 2 years. We took maybe, I think, one of the best artists in Israel. By the way, he served together with me.
It is very pretty.
Yeah, I know him from the army. He served together with me in my unit, but he's really a talented artist, and we invest a lot in details. Like when we draw Shechem, he did the research to look how it was look like before, and when we drew like every part there is detailed, is really detailed by history. And as you mentioned, you have three ways. The main road is the way of the patriarch. This is the main road for generations. But you also have the desert road, because you have the words going through the place that the prophet Amos lived, and the Good Samaritan side. It's shorter, and people can decide that they want to maybe do a shortcut, but not for sure it will help them, because again, the goal is not to finish first. It's depending how many good deeds you collect on the way. But if you want to finish, if you don't want to finish and you're getting to the end city, Nazareth, you can go back through the Jordan River way. And again, it's based on actual map. Yeah, this is like the east. The Jordan River is the east side of Israel. So you're going using it as the east side of the map, and you can go back and starting over. And I think this is what I'm so exciting about this game, that is based on actual places.
The verses that are used in the game, are they only from the Hebrew scripture, or are they also from the Christian scripture?
So for now, it's only a Christian version. We did it only in English and only Christian version. Later, we will develop the Hebrew version, and we are going to make it in different languages. So for now,
I was asking about the psukim. Are they coming from
Tanakh,
all of them, or they're also from?
So most of them, but we did add some, mostly in the Jordan River. We did add some from the New Testament, because this is a Christian version. We are beginning with Christian version, and then we will develop the Jewish one.
You make a Jew-friendly version. A Jew-friendly version. Okay.
Jew-friendly version.
I also noticed that you have the Good Samaritan, cards, and it's a very nice idea. But Samaria is the Shomron. It is Jewish. It is Israeli, but the Good Samaritan is a Christian concept.
Right. The Good Samaritan is a Christian concept, but it's also, I think, important law in the U.S.
And here we have a Good Samaritan.
Here also.
Yeah, here we have Rabbi Hanan Porat did the law about it here also. And I think and I think it's really important from both sides. Again, the story itself it's connecting to the game and Christianity, but the idea behind it, I think it's Zot Amod Al Dam Re'echa. It's something that each person needs to learn. And in these days, we saw a few heroes that when you had a terror attacks, they didn't run away. They went there and they maybe risk themselves, but in order to save people. And I think this is this is one of the idea of the game, to tell people you need to learn from that.
So I have to say, in all honesty, it's a beautiful game. I'm really enthusiastic about it. Unfortunately, this is not the version that I can use. I'm waiting. The minute you have the Hebrew Torah, Tanakh, Jewish version of it, I'm going to buy it. Okay. And my wife,
Amit, write it down and let him to sign on that.
No problem. My wife will be kicking me to get me to she'll be like, get it. Because this is the kind of thing that this is what I like to invest in, is things in my house that teach my kids the Torah.
So people that go to the Kickstarter site, what will it's not available yet, is that correct?
The Kickstarter site available, and when you are supporting the project, you will get the game. We will try to do it from the moment that the project will end, and we'll get to the goal. Will take a few months, and then you will get it to your house.
How much are you trying to raise for the Kickstarter campaign?
So our first goal is $8,000. That is not so much, but of course we will be happy to get to give more people the option to play, and the many more people that will support us. The game will be in more houses, and more kids will learn.
And what are you doing besides being on this show? What are you doing to market this? How are you getting the word out?
So we're doing social media. We're trying, and we're speaking in events about the way of the Patriarch. And if someone want to invite us to speak to his church or to any place, we'll be happy to speak and to explain and to tell about more specific about maybe 1 or 2 or 3 sites.
Big presentations.
With a nice presentation. We're trying to get the many people that we can that will share about it in their communities, in their Facebook.
Kevin from YouTube is asking if there's a link to purchase. So right now there's just the campaign, correct? You can't just directly purchase it.
Yes, exactly.
You're purchasing it through the campaign. In the campaign, you can purchase that, and you can purchase a few other options that we give there. One of them, you can come to Israel and take a tour guide on the way of the Patriarch for 3 days. It's another thing that you can do there, but you can purchase through this campaign.
We believe that this time of the pandemic will end, and the tourists will be back in Israel, Jews, Christians, and then we are going to show the way of the Patriarch also here, not only on the board game, but we want to make an actual tourism concept along the way of the Patriarch. This is something we are already working for the future. So the land of Israel is waiting. The way of the Patriarchs is waiting. Judea, Samaria, Jerusalem.
Look, our dream that the kids that playing it will want to come and visit the site that they play. And if they did something they play in Shiloh, they will want to come and see Shiloh. And Shiloh have amazing things to show. And this is one example. Again, if someone see the battle in Bet Zechariah, we can take him. He can go there to Bet Zechariah until today and to see the actual place when the battle of the Maccabees happened. So the goal is to get more people exciting about what we so excited.
So I have a suggestion for you. If you were to make an additional set of cards that are only available here in Israel, if you visit the site of Shiloh, for example, you'll get this special edition card. That'll encourage people to go and get that special edition card, which will be a rarity that you could show that you were actually there.
I think it's a winning idea. Great idea.
So I want to tell you what I was thinking of when I saw this game and when I saw the game board. This is kind of a coming out of left field, this story. It's not exactly right on the subject. My rabbi once told a story about how during the Soviet Union, he went to Russia, to the Soviet Union, Russia, to connect with people. And one man walked up to him and he said, in Jerusalem, at the end of Hillel Street, if you make a right turn, what is the name of the street? And my rabbi looked at him and said, he told him he knew. And he said, why do you want to know? And the guy said, well, I'm going to Israel. I don't care what the Russian government wants. I'm going to Israel. But when I get there, I need a job. So I'm going to be a taxi driver. So I memorized the map. But my map is missing there's a fold. So I can't read that street name. So
Are you going up or going down? It's either Yoel Solomon
or
it's
going down. So I guess it's David Amelech. It's the King
No, I
David
think
Street.
it's Yoel Solomon I think is on the bottom.
So the point is-
No, Shammai is ending by Hillel Solomon, and Hillel is King David.
There you go. So the point is, all the people who believe in the Bible, they know that one day they're going to end up here. They're going to end up here one way or the other. Jew, Christian, and if they don't end up here permanently, they'll have to come here for the feasts, for the biblical feasts. So when you get here, you don't want to be lost. You don't want to have to ask for directions. If you play this game, you'll know your way around. You won't have to ask directions, and I think that's kind of important.
100%, and you can know these areas better than few people that live here. Unfortunately, also in Israel, a lot of information is missing. Again, we were lucky to live on this road, like to grow up here, so we know. But unfortunately, a lot of people also in Israel, in the Holland, don't know these places. And yeah, like you said it correctly. Like people will know where they are coming from. They will know where to ask from their tour guide to go.
I remember
people are, reading about it in the Bible. We're reading during Shabbat, and they know the places from the Tanakh. But now it's the time to visit the place.
I remember I think we all lived near each other in Gush Etzion, and if you were walking on the way of the patriarchs on Derech Avot, there was this one spot where there was at least one mikveh, a ritual bath.
Amazing one.
It was amazing, and it was known that it was right there because that was just a couple hours walk from Jerusalem.
Right.
So the people would stop there, they would wake up early the next morning, they would bathe in the ritual bath, and boom, a few hours later, they'd be in the temple offering their sacrifices. And last year, that mikveh, that ritual bath, was overflowing because of all the rain.
We've been there 3 days ago. We've been there, and it's full of water today.
Amen. Amen. All ready for us to walk the way of the patriarchs, jump in the water, which is crazy cold.
Yeah, I think if you're jumping in the water, you need a good towel next to you.
Well, when I lived in Bahrain, we had the Mayan there, and it was for the real men. But it was also about just a few hours walk to Jerusalem. So this is the path that the patriarchs used to walk. And then when the temple was standing, this was the path that everyone walked from the south of Israel, Beersheba, which was the major city in the south. They would walk from there up to Jerusalem to bring their sacrifices. So this was not just another road that, like with hot dog and hamburger stands and shopping malls. This was the big deal.
It's a main road, and today it's filled with wineries, and because this is the wine is important in the Torah and for Shabbat, and you see how much blessing you have to the grape on this way on the way. So almost in each community along the way, you have a winery today. and people that will come can go and visit and drink wine, a good one, and see how from old wineries, archaeology, you can see until today that everything is live, everything is live there. People took what was what our patriarch did, and they're trying today also to follow. And yeah, I think it's amazing.
So the
The
kids
vineyards.
can play the board game, and the parents can go and drink wine. I like that.
There you go.
I think,
There you
but I hope and I believe that the parents will so much enjoy so much with their time with the kids that they will wait with the drink up to after.
Even more so after having some wine.
Exactly.
And you know,
The vineyards and the wineries along the way of the Petrach, they're actually fulfillment of the prophecies.
Absolutely.
This is what it is.
what I like is under the goal of the game, you wrote the goal of the game is to obtain good deeds and to avoid deception. And you know something, before I had kids and watched them grow up, I was like, yeah, come on, you know, you watch a movie. I used to watch stupid television. How much does it really go in? And as a father, when my older kids are now in their teens, I'm realizing how much does go in. So to have a game, and the kids will jump at any opportunity they know what's holy. Kids know what's holy. They will jump. You know, it always blew me away that Hanukkah candles, it's a candle. Give me a break. They love it. They love it. You know, any chance you give them to shine, kids are all over it. So something like this, where they're not, you know, platinum points or whatever stupid stuff they get, which is really just, you know, little zeros and ones in the computer program. You know, it's to obtain good deeds. These things stay in their memories. They really do, and they will do it. And it's becoming very big in the world today to do good deeds. It amazes me how people are they're starving for it, and that's something that isn't being advertised enough. You have all these even silly YouTube videos. People they want to say, look at this good deed I'm doing. I'm giving charity. Well, let's give the kids the programming they need. Let's give them the imaginary scenarios, the imaginary tools to be the good Samaritan in Christian terms, to be a good Jew. If you give them the tools,
I think Amit mentioned it in the beginning that we are a new company. Again, we grew up, both of us, in the non-for-profit world. I started to volunteer when I was 12. I was 4 years volunteering with kids with cancer. After that, I volunteered 2 years with kids from families that was attacked by terrorists. And Amit volunteered together with me in other organizations, and that's how we grew. We grew up about trying to do good things. But like you mentioned, this is our first game. But it's not. I hope it will be successful, and it's not the last idea. We have a few more ideas that I will not expose yet because we need to work and to make that. But I think we can build here something that will give you something. Will give you not just education. Will give you enjoy. You will enjoy from good to make good things. And this is
enjoyment and values.
Good values. I'm all for that.
Yeah.
So
what we
this
had
is what
in mind.
Our company is about how to make the values and the good deeds are something that is enjoyable, and it's open for kids, and the kids will like to do it. But you know what? Not just kids, also parents can learn.
You know, I mean, this is clearly for the family. This could make me a big problem. I'll tell you why. Like if I play a game like this and they say, oh, you know, you get 10 points for giving charity to the poor. And then I go out with my kids somewhere and they'll be like, Abba, remember the game? Go get 10 points. And I'll be like, oh, okay. And then I have to
Maybe
pull out my wallet.
Maybe Israel 365. I'm not speaking on their behalf, but maybe they would be willing to partner with a Jewish version of this if you were interested.
Ooh, there's an idea.
So
like I said, it's an amazing idea. I love the connection with the land, and this is like a real connection. This isn't an imaginary way of the patriarchs. This is a road that I've walked on, that you guys have walked on. It's real. It's right there. You can walk on it. But
this
so
road
this
also.
I'm sorry.
This
Yeah.
road also crossing Jerusalem. People are walking on this road every day, but they're not aware.
True. I mean, I lived on it, and I'm looking at the game, and you told me that it goes up to Nazareth. I didn't know that. I even looked on it goes up to Chatzor, which I didn't realize.
Well, we know that Abraham, after a 3-day trek from Beersheba, he came to Jerusalem in order to do the binding of Isaac on the Temple Mount behind me over here. Oops, let's turn this way. So we know that there was definitely a road in those days that they took in order to get to Jerusalem. And we know today that that area where they left Ishmael and Eliezer is the area of Armon HaNetziv, the Tayelet, the promenade, the Has promenade, that you can oversee the Temple Mount. And we live it every day. We see it. And like I said, most people are just unaware of it. But we're living in amazing times. We feel very privileged to live in such a special place in such a special time.
Wow. So guys, I hate to cut this short, but I could stay here all night and schmooze with you guys, and we could talk about what it was like in Gush Etzion. But the viewers, I don't know, maybe they can go for another hour or two, but it's not fair to ask. So we're going to put up the information. If you get a subscription to Israel 365, holy streets, absolutely holy streets. If you get a subscription to Israel 365 News, you'll get the newsletter, which has these videos, which has the links to the Kickstarter. By the way, the Kickstarter, it's only been up for a couple of hours, I think, and no one knows about it. And you've already gotten $129 just from thin air. I think that's fantastic. In a couple hours.
That's good news for us. I didn't check it.
Okay, you got $129 from thin air.
Yeah, thank you.
So
it's not from thin air. It's from great people that are listening and want to join in their.
But I mean, who knew about it? No one knew about it. Thank God. So we're gonna end it here today. God willing, if there's new stuff, you'll be in touch with us and we can talk about that. And you guys have got to be in touch with me as soon as the Old Testament version comes out. Even better in Hebrew, but when it comes out, the Old Testament version, I want to be all over that. Okay. Okay. Thanks so much, Amit, Amotz. It's been great having you.
Thanks so much. Thank you very much.